What's going on, everybody? Almost Counts Collectibles here, and in today's video we're going to be doing a review of the new repackaged 5-pack Dino Megazord from Playmates Toys. It just arrived in the mail. I pre-ordered it. It arrived sooner than I thought it would on the day that it said it would be released. It even came in the Power Rangers Reignition shipping box here, so we are going to tear this open and take a look at this new repackaged and updated visuals Dino Megazord. Real quick, I just want to point out that they actually thought enough to put a spare piece of cardboard underneath the top flaps, just in case you cut this a little carelessly and the blade goes just a little too far in. They put a piece of plastic here to protect the box from being cut. So I don't see that very often. That's very cool that they thought to do that. All right, now this box of the Megazords is like the exact size of the shipping box. And unfortunately, I can already see that mine is pretty dinged up in the corner there, which is fine because I am going to open this obviously for the review. If the box had been in perfect condition, it would have been a little harder to open it. I probably would have bought another one, but that's just me and my little quirks as a collector. But just so you know, if you do get this shipped to you, odds are your corners are probably going to get a little bit dinged up. All right, guys, here it is. I have to say that the box looks very cool. It's got a carrying handle up here at the top. It is very large, over 2 feet wide, I would assume. I think a little more than 2 feet. It just looks awesome. I love the picture of the Megazord right there. I don't know how I feel about the individual little picture with the different background. I kind of wish it would have just shown those Zords with the same background and not the blue there. I think that would have looked a little bit cooler, or something else. I don't know. Something's off about that blue. We got the Rangers here up top. So on the side here we see tank mode, and for some reason I don't know why the head is so far up on Saber-Tooth Tiger there. We see the bendable knees and everything right here. That looks really cool. What do we got on the other side? So on the other side we have the story. On the bottom we have some advertisements there. Oh, and look at this. So on the back, it's actually the standing up picture, over 14 inches high. Now that is extremely cool. The little tiny windows with the blue backgrounds right here don't distract nearly as much as the larger one. This right here looks absolutely amazing. All right, so this flap, it says open right here in the corner. As you can see, this should be velcroed shut, and it is. All right, let's pop this open. All right, so this box is huge. All right, so as we can see here, we've got all of the Zords in here. We're going to get these out and take a look at them. The display is very neat. Up here we have the picture of the Zord. We've got all the individual Zords. You can see the paint upgrades. We'll talk more about that in a second. But the fact that this opens up and you can clearly see everything in the window down here with the little Velcro, this packaging is really cool. Let's go ahead and open this up and take a look at these Zords and compare them to the individuals. All right, so we slid it out of the box. Right here on the side, we have the instructions, which I'm sure would show you how to transform this and put it in all the different modes. Looks like the visuals are pretty self-explanatory. I would really have to look over this in detail to see if all this is portrayed the way it's supposed to be, but those are your instructions if you need them. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take every one of these Zords out. I see a lot of the little plastic restraints, some of the more cardboard little twirled up restraints. I can already tell some of the awesome paint upgrades, but let's get these out and compare them one at a time to the other individual Zords. All right, everybody, we have our 5 Zords right here. I can already see obvious differences, but we're going to go through and kind of detail those differences one Zord at a time. But let's start with the accessories. So right here, is the original power sword that comes with the Macedon. And then right here, we have the new sword that comes with the 5-pack. And I have to say, as far as the sword goes, I really don't see a difference. I think the sword is pretty much unchanged. No size difference, no coloring difference. I don't even see really any kind of mold difference. It looks pretty much identical as far as what I can tell. So the sword appears to be the same. All right, let's take a look at the cannons. Here is one of the 2 cannons from the old one. And here is one of the new cannons from the new ones. And once again, I don't really see any differences, any mold differences, anything like that. Everything appears to be exactly the same, which I expect that on things like this. So no added decals, no changes to anything. We'll take a look at the missiles here in a little bit. All right, but those are the cannons. All right, let's go one at a time. So I want to start with Triceratops here. Now, we'll compare in just a second, but I can already tell, so they actually painted the claws. They painted these little vent-looking things. We've got our squares here on the side. I think this is a new paint job right here on top. The head is not only not white, which it should be, but they actually did it in silver instead of just the regular gray. The eye appears to be fully painted through white. No decals on top here. I thought they might stick something up there, but they did not. So let's go ahead and compare. So here is the old one here on top. As you can see, the decals are the same as far as the ones that were already on there, but we clearly have the little squares right here painted. Up here they were not. The claws are now painted. Up here they were not. The little vents. As you can tell from the old one, which once again is right here, the head almost looked white. In the camera it looks white. It's actually a very light gray. On the new one, it is a silver color. The eyes on the new one are obviously painted all the way through white. On the old one, it was just around the pupil there. The horns look to be pretty much the same on top. Those are painted. They were not before. So there is what we are getting. As far as the tail goes, and I just launched that, the stickers are the same on the tail. No new stickers, no different sizes. I thought those were a little small before, but a pretty decent little upgrade on the Triceratops with the added detail. Once again, I don't know why the head is silver. It should not be. But that aside, just a nice little visual upgrade with some touches there. That is some nice silver paint. I see streakings in it and stuff, but it is paint. It's not stickers, so they did give us extra details. If the head really bothers you, you can always paint it white. I might do that with mine. I'm also going to come up with a different look for these tails, but we got some paint apps upgraded here on the Triceratops. So let's move on to the next one. All right, we've got Pterodactyl here. Now right here on my left hand is the new one. This is the old one. So on the new one, you can see that the inside is now white. We have the black colored in here. Once again, this all appears to be paint, not stickers. The head is still gray. It still opens up. These wings are, I don't know if you can tell, but these are actually painted silver now. They're not that flat, kind of glossy gray. All of this is silver. And then on the front here. All right, so right here, these are white. Now, I don't know why this side is white. It should not be. And I also don't like, so they colored in with a solid black line in between the V's right here on the chest. Now, some people might not mind that. I really don't personally like that. I like this one. I think I just think it looks better. It looks a little bit more show accurate. So, they painted this side of this is all one piece. And they painted this side silver for the tail, and they left this side white. I think they might have made a mistake there. I think they might have meant to paint this silver on this side and not this side on the back side here, because this is silver. I can see the overspray right here. This got painted silver, this got left white. I think this should be silver. That's kind of confusing. These stickers, I questioned these last time. I'm pretty sure these are show accurate the way that they are. It was wrong on the box and stuff like that. But yeah, so let's hold these up. And you guys can see right there the differences. Once again, silver wings. For some reason, this is white on this side. It should be silver. I think they messed up there. And then we've got side-by-side comparisons of the inside. The inside is now white. We've got the vents on the front painted. And yeah, there is pterodactyl. Kind of confusing there on that, the painting of the silver. I think they messed up there. All right, let's take a look at Mastodon. So first up, I'm just going to point out a few things I see. I'm pretty sure this is new, painted here on the legs. Other than that, I don't see much else new. Let's take a look here. So this is the old one here on the right. I think everything appears to be the same as far as the head goes. Let's take a look right here on the left. I'm going to hold them up like this. So yeah, right here on the leg, that is painted in. Oh, we actually get the white and red lines right here. We did not get that over here, just the yellow line. So that is a nice upgrade. The molding and everything looks the same. Yeah, so as far as I can tell, we got the additional white and red lines here on both sides. We got these painted in. Everything else, I mean, obviously there's different numbers and stuff on these, but the molding and everything appears to be the same. We just got a little bit extra paint apps. Also, we get the white around the circle here that I'm just noticing. We do not get that on the old one. It is all yellow. So yeah, some upgrades there for Mastodon. All right, next let's look at Saber-Tooth Tiger here. So here on my left, I have the new one. Here on the right, we have the old one. Right here, I can tell on the chest. Now this is technically correct. Show accurately, there is a silver portion on the chest. I think this is a little bit bigger of a silver area than it should be, but I think this is a little more in line with that show accurate look. Kind of disappointed they didn't paint in around the teeth and the mouth to make it black there, like they did the ears. The old one, we do not have the ears painted in, or the silver on the chest. We also get the white and black outlines over here on the red leg paint. We do not get that on the old one. The fangs appear to be the same color and material. All right, right here on the side. So with the new one, we get some more paint right here. We do not get that on the old one. The decal looks the same. Once again, the outlines around the red right here, you can tell, are new. So here, this is actually painted in black, and on the other one, it is silver. And that is actually not, that's not accurate as far as show accurate. This right here, if I'm not mistaken, this right here should be a silver color. This should not be black right here. So I'm not sure why they went that route. There's a little, some of these paint apps have got me, I don't know if we pointed that one out. I think we did right here above the shoulder, the black line. Nothing up top. Once again, the molds look the same. The sticker, the decal is the same. So yeah, a few new paint apps, and some of them are kind of questionable. I don't know why that is black. I might have to take my front portion of the body off of the new one and put it on the old one, because this appears to be the correct upgrades. This is not. Everything else appears to be the same. The stickers on the cannon are the same. The tail is the same design. So yeah, there is Saber-Tooth Tiger. All right, Tyrannosaurus. Now the first thing I want to say about Tyrannosaurus, even though in the picture now it is wrong on the box. See, on the old box, it was correct, but the toy was wrong. Here's the old one. On the new box there in the background, you can see the T is now wrong on the box, but they actually applied it correctly, at least on mine. So the T is correct. I wish they would have put a bigger sticker, this green sticker. It should be bigger than that. That appears to be the same. Once again, the T is correct. Let's look right here at the head. So they changed the color right here on the bottom of the jaw. The old one was white. This one is black. Everything else appears to be the same. I might be missing something, but obviously the tail right here is different. And this is actual paint, guys, on the tail. They actually painted this. It looks great. These are not stickers. I thought they would just throw some decals on there, but this is nice silver paint outlined in black. It makes the world of difference with his tail. So correct chest piece so far as the orientation. Painted the jaw black instead of white. Added the paint to the tail. Everything else is looking the same. Now when we transform them and reveal some more pieces, we'll take another look. Let's see if there's anything new on the inside. There is not. Yeah, everything else appears to be the same. So correct sticker, painted the jaw black instead of white, and they added these awesome looking paint apps right here to the tail. And all in all, other than some black stickers right here on the top portion of his legs, I mean, it's an improvement. I feel like there was one or two other things they could have done, but those are the individual Zords and what appears to be their changes. Now let's look at the missiles. I'm sure these are probably exactly the same. These are the new missiles. Let me shoot this. We're going to compare yellow real quick. So this is the old yellow. They appear to be the exact same mold, exact same material, all that stuff. So the missiles should be exactly the same. Now let's go ahead and transform these and take a look while we do it. So I'm going to go ahead. Still got that very strong ratcheting movement. Oh, that. So this tail is a lot easier to snap on and off of this peg. Let me see if the top one. Oh, well, that's going to be on the Mastodon. The old one, this is a lot harder to snap on there. I don't know what they changed there, but I feel like this one's a lot smoother on the new one here. I'm just trying to check. I'm sure the design is going to be the same, but I'm just checking for any additional like molding or articulation changes. All right. Now, one thing's easier, the other one's going to be tougher. We'll just squeeze that, drop that. All right, let's get a look at the face here. I want to compare this. One of the main things I wish they would have painted, because I feel like it's a pretty big detail that's missing, is the top of T-Rex's head here. You know, that should be black, maybe outlined in a little bit of silver, but the cockpit, basically, of the T-Rex is up here. And in most of the other toys, it's always painted. I think even the cheaper Hasbro one painted it on there. But I thought they would add a little bit up here, and they did not. But let's check the faces here. So once again, and you can tell because of the chest sticker, but this is the old one, this is the new one. I feel like there are no new details on the face of Megazord either. I think everything there is looking the same. All right, let's... My front leg on Saber-Tooth Tiger on my new one, this one doesn't feel nearly as ratchety. This one is very stiff. This one's a little loose. I mean, it's still snapping in place, but it's got a noticeable difference there. Not much to Triceratops here, so everything's looking the same there. Back of the heads and everything look the same. This is the new one right here on Mastodon. All right, I feel like I just noticed something else new. Yep, definitely. So on top, right here on the top of these like hinge points, they painted the new Mastodon silver there, which I think is a really nice touch. The old one here, as you can see, these are not painted. So the new ones are right there at that top point. Another thing I want to point out about the articulation that I didn't really notice in the first video was the arms actually have a little bit of articulation, about, I don't know what, 20 degrees or less, that actually snap out. So you can, you know, bring the arm in and out a little bit like this. And I don't think I noticed that before. That, combined with the ability to move the hand like this, a little bit of movement there if you really wanted to, even though it wouldn't look right. You know, the arms have more articulation than the original one for sure. I still think they missed out on not making this able to rotate at all. I felt like some rotation somewhere in here would have really knocked this out of the park as far as arm articulation goes, but it is what it is. The silver on Pterodactyl looks amazing, but them spray painting this silver over the white and not the front, that, I feel like that was a mistake. I can fix that. I mean, you know, you can take these two screws out, paint that silver. This silver should be pretty easy to match. I think I'm going to take the inside and the wings off of the new one and put it on the red portion of my old one, because I prefer the no black lines on the chest. And that's just me, but I very much prefer this look as opposed to these dark black lines, but that's just preference, I guess. All right, another thing I want to point out real quick that I didn't notice in my first video, the trunk of Mastodon, at least on the other one it did, actually snaps off. It's on there pretty good, but it snaps off of there, so you can actually turn the trunk around and snap it back on there. And this is technically a little more accurate for the shield mode, which I thought was a pretty cool touch. All right, guys, here is the new Megazord. All right, I'm going to transform the other one and we'll compare it. Still got to put the cannons on the back. Alright guys, so here we have the new Megazord, or the redone 5-pack visual upgrade, versus the initial release right here to the right. Now, obviously to me, the white tail of the pterodactyl right there, I mean, that really stands out. I'm going to have to paint that. It just doesn't look right. The shiny silver head of Triceratops, once again, which shouldn't even be silver. You can see it glistening in the light there. That is off. That doesn't quite look right. The portion right here, this half circle painted on the back of saber-toothed tiger, that is inaccurate. That should be a silver/gray color. The obvious lines on the chest piece of the, the pterodactyl right there stand out. Other than that, in Megazord mode, you're not going to notice a lot of those things. Those things are standing out, and they're standing out for the wrong reasons, because none of those things to me look right. Now, there are a lot of upgrades on these Zords, specifically the tail back here of Tyrannosaurus. Looks much better compared to this just, plain red tail. So that looks really cool. The additional little details that are technically correct, at least I believe so, on the Zords, just the little portions that are colored in, all of those are upgrades. But I feel like I'm actually going to have to correct just as much on this new one as I was going to on this old one. I have things now I have to fix. Well, that's probably inaccurate. There are a lot of little things they did that were correct that I don't have to do now, but I even have to fix things that, they chose to do. As you can see, the side of Triceratops here, just from here, does look better. Those little things painted in makes it look more complete. Over here, it looks very bland and just like a blue block. So all the little details, especially that tail right there, all of that stuff, looks good. And then we've got the top little portions painted silver right here. We've got the red and white lines added to the yellow pieces. We've got these on the feet right here, painted in. Nothing here. It just helps, overall it does help it pop a little bit more. But like I said, I think they messed up on a few things. The pterodactyl, namely, I think they painted the wrong side of it silver. And I think the outside here should probably still have remained silver, and just the inside should have been white, because all of this obviously is a very, it pops. It is a very white color. Now, like I said, I think I'm going to take my original chest piece, take this one off, paint what should be painted, and pop it on there with the extra details, because I don't care for the black outline. Saber-tooth tiger will be easy to fix, simply painting over what they painted black back to silver. I was going to paint the head anyway of Triceratops if they didn't fix that, which they didn't. They made it a more metallic looking silver, so I'll probably fix that. Overall though, I do have to say that the new bundle 5-pack of the Megazord is probably the way to go. It's $89.99 if you can get your hands on it, with the box and just the display of it and the Zord itself. You're getting pretty much, like I said, the same Megazord, mechanical wise and all that stuff. Nothing appears to really change, although I did notice more of an ease with my T-Rex tail snapping on and off. That's probably just a product-to-product thing though, with some quality control. But this new one I think is the way to go if you're a die-hard fan. If you really want it to, look the part. I still think even with the visual upgrades, you're still going to have to make a few yourself, and I think you're going to have to undo some of the stuff that they did, or at least made a mistake on. But other than that, I do highly recommend this new 5-pack, because this Megazord, although I do have, gripes and complaints, like I said, I don't like the tails, the way that they did those. Now, obviously, we have some more paint issues, I think, that need to be fixed. Overall, I think it's a really good design. It's easy to play with. It's, you know, it's fun. My kids enjoy it. All of the stuff, you know, snaps and ratchets and stays in place. I just think overall, and the cannons firing, I love the cannons firing. Even though I don't agree with the color of the effect that they shoot, I'll probably take 2 yellows and put in there, maybe put a little bit of orange on them for some like energy beam action or something. And then I'm going to customize these other ones to look at like part of the tail and not missiles. And so they blend in. We'll do that in a different video, but overall, I think it's a good Megazord. There's some changes I would have made. I think they tried to do some of that here, while some of the stuff I do like, some of it I think was a step backwards. But all in all, this is what you're getting. Those are the differences. No minifigures. I want to point that out one more time. With the individual pterodactyl, you get the minifigures, which are decent little figures for what they are. I'll have to admit, you don't get those here with this 5-pack. But then again, I would probably buy the pterodactyl anyway, personally. 1, for the minifigures. 2, because I prefer the non-black line, just silver chest piece. You still got the indentions and the grooves there, you can see. I just don't like the solid black lines. I just don't think it looks good, but once again, that's just me. So, gives you a good reason to buy that. Swap the insides with the old one for the chest piece, get the minifigures, and call it a day. But here's what you got, guys. Before we go, real quick, I did get the other 2 masks that I was missing. I grabbed them from a Target. They had all the masks. And once again, just like the other ones, I think these look pretty good. So we have Zach and Billy here to complete the mask set. I'm probably going to make some kind of display with these, but I do like these little $10 hard plastic masks because I think they'll look good to display above a case or something like that. I also happen to find a couple more putties to build my putty army. Probably going to keep 1 sealed, but I want to get my hands on about 4 more of these putties. Got these for $8.99 a piece at Target. They were on sale, believe it or not. All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Let me know what you guys think of the new Megazord. Am I right? Are some of these things wrong? What do you guys think about the black lines on the chest? I know, that it's a preference thing, but there you go, guys. Get your hands on this if you can. I do recommend it. And until next time, everybody, I will see you next video.